Hey everyone. So tomorrow's the day. I talk about why kids have learning difficulties in terms of like what's the biochemical component and how that comes into play. What I want to talk about right now is the link between gut health and learning difficulties. We so often hear about gut health and how it impacts autism, how it impacts ADHD, how it has a profound effect on mood, and so forth. But what we don't hear enough about is the impact that gut health has on learning. So it impacts obviously focus, but it impacts processing speed, auditory processing, even visual processing. And so, if your child has or has had in the past issues with constipation, diarrhea, tummy aches, any of that type of stuff, then this is for you because it really might be one of the factors that you think are just separate issues that could be really impacting their ability to read, learn, and so forth. And if they have eczema, that ties into that because eczema, skin issues are directly linked to gut health. So you've probably heard of how we have a second brain and we call it the gut, right? We even say, I have a gut feeling and so forth. Well, what research has found is that there are actually 100 billion neurons in the gut lining. So we think of neurons as the brain cells in our head. But it goes much deeper than that. It goes to our second brain, which is in the gut lining as well. And so basically, your child's digestive issues are having an impact on their mood, their sleep, their reasoning, their processing, their focus, their behavior, all of that type of stuff. So all of these digestive issues, skin issues, are a sign that something is imbalanced in your child's body and brain. And so often when kids have gut issues, if they're really young, we have them on stuff to get them going. If they're having issues with constipation, whether it's stool softeners or something of the sort, Miralax, Tums for tummy aches. And if they're struggling with learning, we have them in tutoring. And if they're struggling with eczema, then we have creams for that. And there's all these different things we're doing that are all Band-Aid approaches when it all ties into the same thing. And these Band-Aid approaches can really just prolong the issue. So what Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride discovered decades ago, she was a neurologist and discovered that there was a huge link that kids with learning disabilities, ADHD, and autism almost always had chronic gut issues. And what she found was that not only does the gut bacteria contribute to these digestive issues and so forth. And not only is there that, but the toxins itself from the gut allows these toxins end up getting into the brain via the bloodstream. So it impairs cognitive functioning. These toxins are not just going to impair mood. It's not just going to impair focus. It's going to impair the processing speed, reading ability, learning ability, and so forth. I've actually seen kids before we even start doing the brain building portion. Once we start doing the gut healing, all of a sudden dyslexia or reading difficulties improve, and so forth. So you don't want to leave that layer out. What was also determined is that gut bacteria helps to manufacture neurotransmitters. So if you don't know what neurotransmitters are, basically, let's put it simply, they're brain chemicals that make us feel a certain way. So, for example, the neurotransmitter serotonin, 85% of that is manufactured by the gut bacteria. And if it's low, we're gonna feel down. We have less serotonin typically in the winter because the sun also helps to manufacture serotonin. But serotonin impacts processing speed, impacts memory, impacts mood, and sleep cycles. So our serotonin goes down during the full moon, or it goes up, I should say, during the full moon. So too much results in, that's why we're more likely to be more alert and awake during the full moon. Gut bacteria also impacts or helps to manufacture dopamine. So dopamine is really important for motivation, really important for executive functioning, also a part of mood in terms of pleasure and so forth, as well as the motor system. So dopamine is one of those neurotransmitters that we often hear is low in kids with ADHD. GABA, which really has to do, again, sometimes I just have clients take a GABA supplement as a temporary measure until we start addressing the gut health, but GABA really influences mood, focus, as well as anxiety. So if there's a lot of anxiety, even OCD type anxiety, that can be supportive. And glutamate's another one that will, there's low glutamate is very much associated with intellectual disabilities, developmental delays in physical or cognitive development. It's really a key neurotransmitter for learning and memory. And again, manufactured and regulated by the gut bacteria. So there's others I could go on and on about, but if you're getting the point, it's that gut bacteria is insanely important for your child's brain health and in terms of their academic performance, their social skills, their mood, their learning, their behavior, their focus, and so much more. So let me know in the comments below, does your child have skin issues? Does your child have issues with digestion? Did they have issues with digestion? Do they have a history of antibiotic use, whether it's one time, a few times, a lot of times? Or anything else that could have impacted their gut health. So let me know. I'm going to be talking more about this tomorrow, where I'll be talking about all of this and more in terms of how the biochemistry of the body impacts the brain chemistry and what that ultimately is going to lead to with our children in terms of learning and so forth. And I'm also going to have lots of ideas on how to help support that and improve that. So the key is no, to me, reading or learning program is complete until we address gut health. And I mean, really biochemistry in general. If you want to heal the brain, if you want to improve cognitive functioning, behavior, all of that, you have to heal the gut. So let me know in the comments below, does your child show signs of poor gut health? What are you seeing? What have you tried? And I hope to see you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, in the Facebook group, where I will be talking all about the biology of learning. Thanks for watching.